Today we're going to review for the Unit 11 test on percent applications. Now you're going to be able to use this on your Unit 11 test, so I would make sure that you fill this out as detailed as you can so that you can use this as a tool as you're taking your test. So the first example that we're going to do, it says, how do I convert fractions, decimals, and percents? First of all, let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to do to go from a fraction to a decimal. To go from a fraction to a decimal, remember that we're going to take the top number divided by the bottom number. And when we go from a decimal to a percent, remember that we are multiplying by 100. And what happens is that that decimal place, it moves 2 places to the right. Now, let's talk about how to go backwards here. To go from a percent to a decimal, we're going to go and we're going to undo that then, and instead of multiplying by 100, we divide by 100. And when you divide by 100, remember that you move it 2 places to the left. And to go from a decimal to a fraction, we're going to then, I like to say, we're going to say it. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in detail in just a minute. I also want to remind you that a percent is always out of 100. So our percentages are out of 100. And another way of looking at that is that we always said like the P all over 100. So that percentage is always out of 100. All right, so now let's go ahead and take what we have here and apply it to turning things to fractions, decimals, and percents. So I have 3 all over 5, which means 3 divided by 5. So I'm going to take the top number divided by the bottom number, and I will end up with 3 divided by 5 is going to give us 0.6. Now, to go from that decimal to a percentage, we're just going to multiply by 100. So remember, when you multiply that by 100, you're going to be moving this decimal place 2 places to the right. And then you need to have your place value holder there. So moving it 2 places to the right is going to give you 60. And now you do have to put the percent sign. Once you've multiplied it by 100, you cannot remove that percent sign. It has to stay on there. All right, so now let's take a look at going from a percent to a decimal. Remember, going from a percent to a decimal, we're going to place the decimal back here, and we're going to divide by 100. So what's going to happen is we're going to move it 2 places to the left. And when you move it 2 places to the left for this one, you're going to have 0.45. Now, this is where we say to say it. When you say it, if you're going from a decimal to a fraction, this would be a good thing for you to have in your notes as well, is that you've got this, and let's just go out to the hundredths place. This is our ones place. This is our tenths. And this is our hundredths. All right. And so when I say 0.45, it's 45 hundredths because it ends in the hundredths place. This 4 is the tenths and the 5 is the hundredths. So 45 hundredths is going to be 45 all over 100. Now we could also, if we went back and we looked at it just as our percentage here, remember that percentages are always out of 100. So another way of looking at that, if you went back to the percent part, is you could say 45 all over 100, and notice you get the same answer. Now you can leave it as 45 all over 100, or you could simplify it by dividing everything by 5. So this could also be equal to 9 all over 20. Either one is just fine. All right, so now let's take a look at, we've got this decimal. So if we want to then turn this decimal into a fraction, remember, let's just say it. Notice that this 6 is in the tenths place, so it's 6 tenths. And you can keep it like that or simplify it. 2 can go into 6 3 times, 2 can go into 10 5 times. Now, to turn a decimal to a percent, we just did that. You multiply by 100. So when you multiply by the 100, remember, it's going to move 2 places to the right. So you're going to then have 60%. All right, now let's go ahead and do the 5%. So we've got the 5%. Well, first of all, we could, if we wanted to, we could say is equal to 5 all over 100 as a percent. We could go right there, 5 all over 100. And then if we want to then turn it from the decimal, from the percent to the decimal, we're going to divide by 100. So we would go 2 places to the left. We need to have the placeholder. So we'd have 0.05 or 0.05. Also, if you'd taken the 5 divided by the 100, you'd get 0.05. All right, example number 2, how do I use the percent proportion and the equation? Some of us like to use the percent proportion, some of us like to use the percent equation. So we're going to talk about both of them. First of all, if you use a percent proportion, remember that the top number is the part, the bottom number is the whole, and words that you a lot of times see are the is for the part and the of for the whole. And then is equal to P all over 100. You're turning that to the percentage. So for the first one, it says 63 is what percent of 75? So we're looking for the percent, so I'm going to place that all over the 100. And 63 is, that shows that that's the part of 75. Now, you can do this one of 2 ways. If you like to use a percent equation, basically what you would be doing is taking the top number divided by the bottom number times it by 100. If you like to apply the percent proportion, you would cross multiply and take 63 times 100, and then you're going to divide by the 75. And you'll get 84. And because you were solving for the percent, you would end up with 84%. All right, let's take a look at number 2. For number 2, it says, what percent of 7 is 4? So again, you're looking for the percent here, and you could set this up as a percent proportion, or you could look at it as the percent equation. So because you've got the of 7, you know that the 7 is going to be the bottom number, and then the top number is going to be 4. So if you're doing this using the percent equation, you would basically be taking top number divided by bottom number times it by 100, or you could then solve the proportion by taking 4 times 100 and then dividing that by 7. And you would end up with the decimal, let's just round it to 57.14. And again, we just solved for percent, so you'd want to have the percent sign. All right, question number 3. It says, what number is 30% of 50? So we're looking for that what number is. And then we've got our 30%. The percents always go over the 100. And notice that we know that that bottom number is going to be 50. And you're solving for that what number. So again, this one we could take 50 times 30 and then divide by 100. And you would end up with 15. So 15 out of 50 would be equal to 100. Now, some people, if you're using the percent equation, some people would be taking and turning that 30% into 0.30 and timesing it by 50. And either one is just fine. Now, I would like for you to pause the video and do number 4. This, you guys, is the same thing as number 3. It says, what is 80% of 130? So remember, it's the same thing as what number is 80% of 130. So pause the video and then resume. All right, so you should have then 30. So 27 is on the top number, you don't know the bottom number, and then 90, because it's a percent, goes over 100, and that's going to be equal to then 30. All right, the last example that we're going to do today, example number 3, is how do I calculate discount and markup? So it says the regular price of a beach towel is $25 and they are on sale for 30% off. How much will you save on the beach towel? So the question you're asking yourself here to begin with is, what is 30% of 25? That's the question you're asking yourself. So either you're taking and turning that percent to a decimal and timesing that by 25, or you are setting it up as a proportion. We know 30% are out of 25, and then we're cross multiplying and we're going to divide. So you'll have then $7.50. So the amount that you're going to save is $7.50. All right, so now we need to figure out what is the sale price, how much you're going to pay for that. Well, so our original price was the $25, and then if we subtract $7.50, we will end up with the amount that we're going to end up paying. And you will end up paying $17.50. All right, so our last example here then, it says a movie costs $18 before tax and the sales tax is 5.5%. How much tax will you pay? So the question you're asking yourself is, what is 5.5% of 18? That's the question you're asking yourself. So again, you could turn that to a decimal by dividing by 100, so you'd have 0.055 times 18, or setting it up as a proportion, and our percentage always goes over 100. Even if it has a decimal there, it's going to go over 100 because it's got the percent sign in the back on it, so it is a percent there. All right, so you will then take 18 times 5.5 and divide that by 100. And you would have 99 cents. So you're going to have 99 cents in tax. Well, remember, tax is a markup, so you have to pay that tax. So if your movie costs $18, you're going to pay the $18 for the movie, plus you're going to pay the 99 cents, giving you a total of $18.99. Okay, so we're going to stop here today, and then we will continue reviewing the rest of this chapter and filling out the rest of the sheet on another day.